And welcome back for the final instalment of Sir Bonk and the Terrible, Awful, Dreadful, Nasty, Naughty Dragon by Spike Milligan. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. News of the dragon's capture had reached the king's city and crowds gathered in the royal square. The king had declared a holiday and everyone had to wear clean knickers and blow their noses. Nose and knicker wardens went round to check on everyone's noses and knickers. A cry went up, "Here they come!" Then through the city gate strained soppy Big Bill pulling the huge trap with the 6-ton dragon with everyone else on top of it. In front on his white horse rode Sir Bonk. "Make way for the hyena," said Big Bill, who still hadn't got it quite right. The king said, "3 cheers for the dragon catchers, hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray." "That's only 2, said Sir Bonk. "I know," said the king, "it's an economy cut. Now step forward, Sir Bonk, for the capture of this deadly dragon. I'm inviting you the time. It's exactly 3:30. Sir Bonk bowed low and hit his head on Wizard's head. "Your Majesty, what a magnificent present. 3:30, just what I've always wanted." But by the time he stood up, it was 3:32. "Help!" said Sir Bonk. "Stop the thief! 3:30 is gone. Which way did it go?" It went towards 4 o'clock, said Big Bill. The king held up his hand for silence. "Don't worry, it will come back at the same time tomorrow," he said. "Now all stand back while I kill the dragon." The crowd cheered. "Kill the dragon!" they shouted, because crowds love violence. The king took his great bow and arrow and put the poison on the tip. He took aim. "Stop!" said Sir Bonk. "Don't kill him, sire." "Why not?" said the king. "He's alive." "Because if you kill him, he'll die," said Sir Bonk. "Oh," said the king. "Do they die when you kill them?" "Yes," said the knight. "Death kills them." Sir Bonk explained that dragons were becoming extinct. "There are only 6 left in the world," he said. "Only 6? I thought there were 1 billion. He sucked his thumb, which he kept dipping in treacle. He didn't know what to do. In his kingdom, they had always killed dragons. "What good is a live dragon?" he asked. "What good is a dead one?" said Sir Bonk. "Sire, I shall get the Wizard of Nothing to draw up plans on how to use a live dragon for the benefit of the people," he said. That night, the townsfolk built a huge bonfire and had jelly and custard party to celebrate the capture of the dragon. All the children did ring-a-ring of roses around the dragon's trap. Next morning, the Wizard of Nothing gave the king the plans. "Good heavens," said the king, "they want us to build a dragon zoo." The wizard smiled. "Yes, we can breed dragons. It will attract tourists from all over the world." Suddenly, Sir Bonk said, "Look at my present. It's 3:30. That dragon hasn't had any dinner since yesterday. And in my book, Dragons and Their Food, it says that every 56 hours they have to be fed or they die of death." Sir Bonk asked what a dragon ate. The wizard scratched his head, then his leg, then his belly, then his bottom. That's because his fleas were running about very fast. "I know what dragons eat," said Little Willie. "My mother told me they eat 100 cows a week." This worried Sir Bonk, but it worried the cows even more. "We can't afford that," he said, "so he'll have to go on a vegetarian diet of trees." Now the big surprise for the king was opened on Christmas Day. It was a dragon wildlife park. Soon many people heard of it, and instead of killing dragons, they took them to Bonk's Dragon Sanctuary to be saved. There was also a dragon drying service where people took their wet laundry into a field and a dragon would breathe hot air on them to dry them. In the winter, the dragon would breathe on a lake and people could swim in warm water. You could hire a dragon for a barbecue and he would cook food by breathing on it. In fact, dragons saved the country lots of money in lighting, heating and drying. Then the dragons had 3 babies, Plink, Plank and Plonk. They became very tame and let children ride on their backs. It was smashing fun. The children used to take them for walks, and when the children's hands got cold, they just put them on the dragon to get warm. But, there were people in another country called Dangle who were jealous of Sir Bonk and his dragons. The leader was called Black Mangle. They liked to eat dragon meat, and because they killed all their dragons, they were getting hungry. "We must invade Cornwall and capture their dragons," said Black Mangle to his witch named Witchway. "Yes," she shrieked, "I will put a spell on King Big Twit." Black Mangle wrote a message. "Dear King Big Twit, I or one of my black knights challenge you or one of your knights to a joust. If we win, you must surrender your dragons. If we lose, we will give you 50 pence and a smelly sock." He attached the message to Witchway's ankle and sent her off on a broomstick. She screamed as she flew over the sea to Cornwall. "Ah!" She kept screaming because a splinter from her broomstick had stuck in her bottom. As she flew over Cornwall, she screamed curses. "May all your women's teeth go green. May all their dresses catch fire. May all their heads go bald and grow mushrooms." King Big Twit knew something was going wrong when his queen came in with green teeth, a bald head with mushrooms growing on it, and a dress on fire. "Who are you?" he said. "Who? I'm the queen." "I want a divorce," said the king. Soon all the women in Cornwall looked like the queen. It was terrible. All the daddies ran and locked them away. "Don't worry," said the Wizard of Nothing. "Why, what are you going to do?" said the queen. "I'm not going to do anything. All I said was, don't worry." By now the witch had delivered the challenge to the king. "They want us to fight us for the dragons," he said. "What do you intend to do?" said Sir Bonk. "I'm not frightened," said the king. "Black Mangle doesn't frighten me. To prove it, I want you to fight him." What no one knew was that Black Mangle was a giant. He was so huge he blacked out the sun. One day, a great shadow fell over Big Twit's castle, and everyone thought it was night time. Then they realised that it was the shadow of Black Mangle. "You didn't tell me he was a giant," said Sir Bonk. Black Mangle let out a great roar. "Come out and fight!" Sir Bonk went out and looked up. "You'll have to wait. We haven't had breakfast yet." "Well, hurry up," said Black Mangle. "I'm waiting to kill you." "If you kill me," said Sir Bonk, "I'll never speak to you again." Black Mangle sat on the grass and waited. It was a hot day. Little Willie rushed in and said to King Big Twit, "Black Mangle has fallen asleep. We must wake him up." "Why?" said King Big Twit. "Because," said Little Willie, "Big Bill is underneath him." "No," said the wizard. "While he is asleep, he is not dangerous. We must try and keep him asleep." "How?" said Sir Bonk. "Follow me, I'll show you," said the wizard. The wizard put a ladder up against Black Mangle, and they all climbed up onto his belly. As Black Mangle breathed in and out, they all went up and down. The wizard said, "Head through his nose." Ahead were the giant's nostrils, which looked like two great caves, and the wizard started to walk in. "Where are you going?" said Sir Bonk. "I've got to get to his brain," said the wizard. "Once I reach it, I can find the piece that makes him go bad and switch it off." So they all followed the wizard up the giant's nose, and soon they were in the giant's brain. Different parts were marked: good bit, bad bit, naughty bit, nice bit, don't want to go bit, eating too much jelly bit, and smelly poo bit. "Ah," said the wizard, and pointed to a bit marked killing the dragon bit. He saw a switch on it marked on off. He reached up and put it off. Then he switched all the bad bits off. All the giant's body shook like an earthquake. They all ran down his nose onto his belly, which was shaking like a jelly. Soon they were safe on the ground. Then the giant woke up. "Hello everybody, what a lovely day. Let's go and pick blackberries." He was ever so kind and polite. "You've done it," said Sir Bonk to the wizard, and gave him a chocolate medal. They all thought now the dragon was safe, but no, they'd forgotten which way. She came roaring through the sky on her great broomstick, screaming and dropping poisoned sweets. "You can't stop me. I'll kill the dragon. I'll challenge you to a duel, said Sir Bonk. Very well, screamed the witch. Tomorrow, at dawn. As the sun rose, the people gathered for the great duel at the jousting ground. At one end, Sir Bonk on Daz. At the other, on her broomstick, which the witch attended by hobgoblins, all screaming with her. The pages blew their trumpets for the fight to start. The witch pointed her poisoned lance at Sir Bonk. He knew that if it only touched him, the poison was so strong it would kill him and his horse. The trumpet sounded for the fight to start, and the witch screamed, "Death! Death!" She crouched over her broomstick and rushed at Sir Bonk. She was coming at him so fast that he could hardly see her. He started to gallop towards her. Nearer and nearer came the screaming witch. "She's going too fast for him. She'll kill him," said King Bigtwit. "Look out, Bonk!" Just as the witch was going to stick her lance into Sir Bonk's heart, a giant hand came down and snatched up Sir Bonk and his horse. The witch screamed past, crashed into the castle wall, and exploded in a great ball of fire that turned into black, green and purple frogs, which croaked and hopped away. "Oh, thank you for saving me," said Sir Bonk to Black Mangle, and gave him 20 chocolate medals and jelly babies. And so peace came to Cornwall, and they all lived happily ever, especially the dragons. The end. Thank you for joining me.